Hello, children. Today I am going to discuss the types of industries. What are the classification of industries? Now, there are three bases of classification of industries. The first is on the basis of size. Okay, the industries are classified on the basis of size. Now, size means in terms of amount of capital which is invested. We are going to look at amount of capital which is invested. We are also going to look at the labor which is used, whether the labor force is employed and to what extent it is employed, and the quantity of output. Okay, so the on the basis of size these things are going to be measured, and on the basis of size there are two types of industries. Okay, that is the cottage industry and the small scale industry. I'm going to discuss the cottage industries first. What are the basic features of cottage industries? Children, you must have seen that in the villages, people they have their own kind of an art, like paintings or making small clay figures. Okay, so these type of art which is inherited, and at present there is a lot of value of this art, so that all art making and as well as making of some kind of unique pieces, they all fall under the cottage industries. Okay, like cottage industry would also include handicrafts. It would also include kite making. Now these days kites are also being sold very you can say in large numbers. So kite making is there, then beady making is there. These all things, or these all activities, or the handicrafts are there. So all these activities, they fall under the cottage industries. Okay, if you talk about agricultural industry, agricultural based cottage industry, we can talk about dairy. People own their own dairy, they sell milk and milk products. Then poultry. Okay, this is again related to agriculture. Then sericulture is the cultivation of silk. Okay, they breed the silkworms for the silk, the production of silk here. And industries related to rural skills, like many of them, they have the skills like shoemaking. Okay, so they have a shoemaking factory or goldsmith. Okay, so all these, they fall under the heading of cottage industries. These are some examples, these are given in your book. You need to learn at least 2 to 3 examples of each type of industry, you can be asked. Okay, so these are the different types of examples that are there for the cottage industry. Now let me tell you some of the features of cottage industry. What are the features? Features are that local raw material, many of which is available free of cost, are used in the production of things or products of artistic value. So whatever raw materials they use, they are generally free of cost. Okay, or very less cost, minimal cost. Like for example, if you take the example of kite making, what all is required to make a kite? Paper and some kind of some straw and some glue. So very less investment is needed, and the raw material that is used, that's free of cost. Now the labor in the cottage industry which is employed is basically, they are basically the family members of a family. So they do not employ labor from outside. So labor is the family members only. All right, the raw material, they are free of cost or natural. You can say that, for example, for beady making or for handicrafts, you take a cloth and you just need a thread and a needle and you just weave good designs out of it. Okay, so raw material is then the hereditary skills of a family passed among the generations involved. So the skill which is of the family is passed. Okay, if somebody is good at shoemaking, that the son of that shoemaker will also become a shoemaker only. Okay. Then capital invested. Capital is very, very small. Capital investment means amount of money which is required to set up a business. Okay. Use of mechanical power. The mechanical power means machines. They are used to a very, very low extent. Very less use of machines. Hard work and simple tools and equipments are used. The products produced, now whatever is produced by the cottage industries, they are sold in the local market only. They are not exported. They are not given in the other areas, but they are produced for local market for supply to other industries or handicrafts. Sometimes these industries are linked to large industries and they supply raw material to them. Okay. The greatest market nowadays, it is other than the local market. This market is shifting to the international market also. If you talk about Lucknow, the art of chicken curry is in great demand the world over. Okay, so this is again a cottage industry of our state. Now we were talking about the ancient art and skills. They were combined with the talent of individual artisan are displayed in the work. These cottage industries, they help in preserving our culture. Okay, that culture which was lost when the Britishers invaded India, Britishers ruled over India. So cottage industries, they help us to even preserve the culture of our country. Now children, coming on to the small scale industry, the first feature, as per the micro, small and medium enterprises act 2006, the a small scale industry is one where investment in plant and machinery, the plant and machinery investment, where it is between 25 lakhs to 5 crores. If the investment in plant and machinery, plant is the machine which is used for production of a particular thing. So the plant and machinery, if it costs between 25 to 5 crores, then that will be termed as a small scale industry. Okay. The basic characteristics of small scale industry, excuse me, the local materials as well as the material from the surrounding regions is also used. So sometimes the cottage industry also provide the raw material to a small scale industry, or the local materials which are used, they are used as the raw material for the small scale industry. Then hired workers perform the work in a small scale industry. So it is not the labor is not the family member, they are the hired workers. They hire workers, they give them some kind of wages and they make the work done. Okay. And the labor which is hired is cheap and lesser in number. Okay, so it is not expensive labor. They are not very skilled workers. They are unskilled workers and they are cheap laborers. Clear? They are skilled laborers, but they are cheap because they are lesser in number. So they do not require more because the plants, the machinery, the help of machines is there. So the amount of labor is cheap and low. At the same time, they are skilled laborers because their skill is needed in the small scale industry. Capital investment is more than, as we have already discussed, the capital investment between 25 lakhs to 5 crores, and a small number of power driven machines are utilized. So plant and machineries are utilized in this. Like in the cottage industries, there were no machines used, but in the small scale industry, there are machines are used. Products are usually smaller parts of amalgamation in the big industry or for sale in the local market as well as the external market. So whatever is produced in the small scale industry, it is either produced for the local market or the external markets, or they act as a raw material to the larger industries. Okay, so they supply raw material to the larger industries. They provide employment. Small scale industries, they provide employment to the people. All right. Having discussed the two types of industries based on the size, now let me tell you about the importance of these two industries. This is a very important question. It can come as a 5-mark question. Discuss the importance of the cottage and the small scale industry. So there are about 10 points that are given in your book. I'm going to discuss these 10 points in the next video.